Are you gonna stand behind them and ask the question?
No, we're gonna sit over there. All right, everybody do the show. Look at Twice. Why you look all happy?
Hey, y'all.
Excited. We are back with Mom Ballz. And we have amazing special guests for y'all. This is gonna be a treat. These are our children. These are our athletes. These are our D1 hardworking athlete, scholar athletes. And they're gonna share with you their grind. So we're gonna ask them a couple of questions. Enjoy this podcast. This is a special video. One. It's a special one to us. Episode 4. Enjoy. You guys start off with
their
introducing yourselves. We want you to say
you guys
your
are only
name.
going to hear our voices. We're going to go behind the camera now.
So we want y'all state your name, your age, and what school you are attending or will be attending.
Yes.
Hit it.
Or
Fancy or like that?
I go first. Like full name or just?
boy, just say your name.
Say your name.
Chance Stevens, 18 years old, and I'll be attending LMU.
Woo! LMU.
I'm Layla Curry. I'm 17 years old, and I'm going to be attending LMU.
Yay!
I'm Jada Curry. I'm 19 years old, and I go to Cal Berkeley.
Woo!
I'm Jaden Mickey. I'm 17 years old, and I go to the University of Notre Dame.
Yay!
No, hold on. Jaden's voice is like mad deep.
Interview was.
Yeah, he got a little bit more experience on your chance.
It's gonna happen to you next semester too. Don't worry.
All right, guys. So we're excited to have you guys here. It was really tough for us getting you guys' schedules together, but we were like, no better time than the present because these two will be leaving soon. Y'all only here for a minute. So we are glad that we were able to make this happen today. So we're going to start with whoever want to start. So the question is, when did you fall in love with the sport that you're currently playing? And everybody just kind of take a couple minutes and answer that. Jada, we'll start with you.
Jada. I started playing when I was 4. I don't remember the exact age I fell in love with it, but I mean, I could say probably since that age when playing with her, when she was 3 in NJB, we fell in love with it then. But yeah, it's been a long time. Like she said, she's 17, I'm 19, so for a very long time now, we've loved it, and yeah, started really at a really early age.
And Layla's your sister, so you guys start playing together.
Mm-hmm.
So Layla, since you guys are together, when did you always love it, or were you only playing because Jada?
Great question. I mean, it started off like that, and I started to like the sport more because I ventured off and tried softball, and I didn't like it as much as basketball, so I went back to basketball. So I think it was more so like just playing with her on the court just made me love the sport more because I think like I think on her senior year that was probably the most I've loved basketball before because I actually had fun like playing it with her.
Okay, that's great. Jaden?
I think I just fell in love with the game, watching my dad coach it, and we always watched it on TV. So I think I fell in love with it before I played at the age of 4.
Okay.
Tell us more a little bit about that. You said your dad coached and you were on the football field because they went to play like AAU, right? The girls. They were playing like youth sports, but you started by going to watch high school.
Yeah, my dad used to pick us up after like kindergarten, preschool, whatever grade I was in, and he'd take us straight to football practice. We'd do our homework in the stands, and you know the days I didn't have homework, I just watched football. So fell in love watching football, and then finally when I was old enough to play it, we got into flag football, and then so on and so forth.
Okay. Chance?
Well, growing up, I was watching it, but I didn't really start playing it until like 7 years old, and Dad would take us to like the YMCA, or it was a YMCA, and we was playing in that little league, and I think around that time, that's when I fell in love with it, playing basketball. But you know, at the time, I wasn't really trying to be the best at that time. So I was just playing. Like,
You were just having fun.
He was just
Yeah.
out there. He was
I
out
mean,
there with his...
that's important that you guys, in this process, you've been having fun, right? Falling in love with it also gives you that fun aspect. So, because if you didn't like it, you'd be like, I don't want to go.
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't like playing anything I wasn't good at. So
All right, that's that competitive. That's what's up.
Okay, so this is going to be very important for our viewers because you are all D1 athletes and you put in a lot of work And everybody doesn't want to do that. So we really want to talk about what is that thing that makes you want to work even when you don't feel like it? What's that internal thing, or what is it for each of you that makes you want to work even when you don't feel like it? Let's start with Jaden.
For me, so it all started when it was my sophomore year. Big homie Isaiah Young, he asked us, like, I had a bad day at practice, I was mad, and he asked me, bro, like, what's your why? Like, you gotta get out of that your head, and you just gotta find out what your why is. So for me, he told me his why was he don't want his mom to work no more. So I kind of took that and I ran with that. So I'm like, my parents, all they do for me, I wanna give back for them, and then for the kids that are my age now, when I'm older, I want to get back to them. So my why is retiring my parents and retiring my mama, and so she don't gotta work no more.
She over here doing the happy dance. Right, for those that can't see. Okay, go ahead. Who's next?
Let's just
Who's
go
next?
down the line.
Yeah, go
Jaden,
down the
you're
line,
next.
Jada.
I would say, like Jaden, if I was a football player, that would be the same thing. For me, and probably for Layla, playing professional sports as a female, you don't get paid that much, to retire your parents. But if I could, I would. But my why.
You won't get endorsements, girl.
Yeah, look, that's the
Claim that.
my why would most likely be, I think, and a lot of people have heard this story, but going into my senior year of high school, I was very under-recruited. So I think I've always just had a chip on my shoulder to be, just prove
That's right.
people wrong, but more so just prove myself right, that I can play at the highest level, I can be a D1 basketball player, and I could be a successful D1 basketball player. So that's most likely my why.
And you sure are, girl.
Proud it. Layla.
I would probably say just being able to have like those little moments on and off the court, like with your teammates and with your family, like winning a state championship, even though it was like only like not even like an hour celebration, it was like a 5-minute celebration on the court. Like just those, like experiencing those moments with your team and your family, like I was able to experience it with my sister, so it was cool. So I think that just always pushing yourself just to get like those little moments again, like really makes you persevere through certain things.
Awesome. Chance.
I think my why and my motivation is my dad, really, because he's been going to the gym with me every day, and those days that I feel like I don't feel like doing nothing, I just think about him, because he's been getting up with me every day and shooting me every day, so I feel like I owe it to him.
That's awesome. You don't want to let your dad down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the next question is kind of the same. Like, what's instrumental? What was instrumental, and who in your push, in your mindset? Like, what keeps you going? What keeps you focused on your goal, whatever that is, or goals? What is that thing that, you know what, today I'm gonna do this towards my goals? What is that? Can you guys share amongst yourselves, or just tell us what you think it is?
I think mine, kind of similar to Chance, would be both my parents. Like I said, my dad has been the basketball guy since we were 4 and since she was 3. And mom has, learned to love it as well and understand it too. So just doing it, for them too, they push me every day, whether it's, basketball, academics, whatever it is, they're going to be those 2 people that push you and make sure, you're getting the best out of it and you're giving your best. So probably both of them.
So do you feel like they push you because of everything they've taught you thus far? So it was like the foundation that keeps you going.
Yeah, definitely.
But like when you're by yourself in college and they're not there,
right?
What makes you go, I have to go do this?
Definitely with the academics, mom, I have homework and I want to go hang out with my friends or something. If it's something simple as that, like, no, let me go get my homework done so I don't got to worry about it. But just, I think, building that foundation, little things like that stick with you. So, they built a pretty good foundation. So
Love it. Layla.
Honestly, probably the same thing. Like my parents just constantly being there our whole life, like pushing us to do our best and everything. I would probably say Jada too, because she's always like there, like basketball wise. Like even, I know she's not like here anymore, but like before she left, we were always in the gym together. Even if I didn't want to go, she would make me go. It was just like her just pushing me to always be my best.
Chance.
Yo, what was the question again?
What keeps you focused
Yeah,
on your
what keeps you
goals? What
focused?
keeps you focused and you push through to do your goal, reach your goals?
Man, I think now, for me, is just really just trying to be the best now. Because I think my dad's put that mindset in me where, like, if you're going to do something, try and be the best version of yourself at it. So that's mine.
Yeah, for me on the field, that's pretty much it. The last name on my jerseys, and just proving myself, right? Like what Jada said, prove myself. I think I'm the best ever. I want to be the best ever. So really pushing to get to that is what I'm always trying to do.
Okay, guys, what is the grind to you? Like, what basically in the sport that you're in, what does it take to be the best? And where you are today, what have you done that has led up to this point?
What has been your grind? Yeah.
Mine, hours and hours.
I mean, we can start with the hill. Start at the
In the
hill.
gym. Oh, you go, okay.
So you can go all the way back to that.
Yeah, when did you start grinding? How about that?
Probably about 10 years old.
8.
No,
You was
right?
running the hill at 8. So let's talk about the hill. How hard it was to run the hill.
Jada know about the hill.
Exactly. Y'all both can talk about the hill.
We talk about the hill together.
Yeah.
I think instead of the hill could be like an analogy.
Yeah, it can.
Like, you feel me? Like,
Yeah.
it's not always about just that one hill. Like, it's about, are you going to attack the hill the same way every day? And that's what.
There you go, my
Okay.
boy.
And that's what people don't understand. Like, my whole thing is, if you don't cheat the process won't cheat you, and you're gonna, like, the work is always gonna show at the end of the day. So you were under recruited. There's a reason. If you're too short, you gotta learn how to jump higher. If you're too slow, run faster. It's just control what you can control, and at the end of the day, it'll come through for you.
Cream rises to the top. That's
Yeah.
what you like to say.
So girls, what would you guys say?
I mean, just going off that, I think attacking the hill the same way, whether you're doing, I mean, I have right now going through rehab, going through PT, attacking the same way I would a regular workout, shooting drills, conditioning. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. I don't know if any of us are a fan of conditioning, but I mean, attacking that the same way you would attack something you want to do. And on those days when you don't want to condition and you don't want to get up and go to the gym, just, remembering your goals and keep pushing and striving for those. So.
Okay. So what made you guys choose the school you're at right now, that you're headed to? You guys are at, and you two are headed to.
For me, it was just the best fit. At the end of the day, it's a lot of emotions that go into recruiting, and you got to put all that to the side and what's going to be best for your future. So for me.
Also, coupled with that, how did you narrow it down from all the noise in your head, from all the coaches calling, all the other schools calling? How did you, narrow it?
Yeah, all the calling stuff, it really don't matter. If they want you, they can want you. Because I was recruited, I was highly recruited, but there was kids that had more stars than me or was ranked higher than me, so I wasn't ever at the top. But I knew what I had, and I knew that no matter what happened, no matter where I go, I'm gonna prove I'm better than that kid next to me. I'm gonna end up at the top. So I put all the fluff to the side. I didn't pay attention to how many times they called, what they promised when I got there. I just, who got the best degree, where can I go get on the field, and 40 years from now, what's gonna set me up to be successful?
For me, I was blessed, to get my first offer before I even played a high school game. So, with Rhode Island, I was going there at first, and then coaching changes happened. So, after that, I was pretty stuck. Like, I didn't know what I was gonna do. But then they had coaches calling and stuff, and we went to LMU. LMU was calling and texting a lot. We went there on a unofficial, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. It felt like home, and I ended up choosing that, and it was also best fit too. So
It felt like home. That's a good focus. It feels right. We talked about that in one of our other episodes.
yeah, it felt
You know
comfortable.
when it feels right, and you know when it feels wrong.
Mhm.
You do.
Jada, how about you?
Yeah, I think there's a lot that goes into picking a school, and like you guys said, there's a lot of outside noise. And for me, I knew I wanted to play, a top Division I school. And once I got offered by Cal was the first Pac-12 school, I believe, if I remember right. And then there was Arizona State, Utah, and University of Washington. And when that happened, I knew I wanted to play in the Pac-12 at that point, but I think Cal for me had the most feeling of home, like they were both saying. But like Jaden said, the degree, going to Cal, getting that degree was important for me. And then also just I think one important thing when getting recruited is going somewhere where you're not only needed, but you're wanted as well, and vice versa. So I think out of all the schools, Cal wanted me the most, and they needed me the most, and I wanted to go somewhere where I could make an impact as soon as I got there, and that was the best option for me. So.
Layla?
I would probably say I only got recruited really, but I only got offered by 2 schools really, and sorry, but it was only between Hawaii and LMU, and I had certain schools still talking to me, even though they didn't offer. They seemed like they were really interested in me, but they wouldn't offer, so it didn't really make sense. But at the end of the day, when I thought about it, I wanted to be able to go somewhere where my family and friends could constantly just show up if they wanted to. I like the fact that the campus is really beautiful. I like the education because first of all, it's a private school, so that's already good as it is. And I love the coaching staff. One of my travel ball coaches is now on the coaching staff for LMU, so that's really cool. And I just like the team and the atmosphere up there. It's just really good for me, and I think it's more like it's like they all said, it's kind of like a family thing up there.
Definitely. That's awesome, guys. I want to circle back to what it's like now, mostly for you two because you guys are already there. But I want you to tie in the grind from when you started to what it's like now. So give us a few examples, and you guys can chime in on this too. Give us some examples of what your grind entailed. I've seen videos of you shooting threes for an hour long, if not longer. I don't know how long you've done it. So that's a part of the grind that we want our viewers to hear, so that they can say, is my son doing that? Is my daughter doing that? Is she grinding the way those 4 did, the way you 4 did?
But also too, in that question on what it's like now, because you two are already in college, you two are not. You guys can talk about your first year there, 6 months for you, I think. You two can talk about what it's like now that y'all basically done with high school. And so you could talk about looking forward to stepping on that campus.
And your continued training.
Couple
Your
weeks.
continued training.
Yeah.
Because I know that the 4 of you are always on. No days off. That's how you guys got where you are. So Jaden and Jada, you guys talk amongst yourselves or let us know, what is it like now, and tie it into what it's been like from the beginning.
As far as the grind, as a high school football player, anybody watching this want to know how to get recruited. You start off the bases of the base. My dad told me this: bench press 315, squat 400, run 10-9. You can do those things, then that puts you in a position to be able to play D1 football. Then you gotta have footwork and hips and stuff like that. But the base stuff, you gotta be able to run fast, you gotta be strong, and then it goes into mindset. They want to see like when nobody watching, how are you on the field? And for me, I was always ultra competitive. That's what everybody says. You always trying to win for no reason. But it's just it's just a mindset for me, and that's what carried into college. I go to Notre Dame, and I'm always trying to win every rep. And some people take it, oh, you just trying too hard. I'm trying to be the greatest ever. Ain't no reps off. And if you take a rep off, that's when you go back to your why. I can't take a rep off because I got to be the greatest ever. I got to retire my parents. So that's how the grind was for me in high school, and then going into my freshman year, you just gotta be ultra competitive.
Share a little bit about how one of your motivations is your mom being sick.
Oh yeah. So these wristbands right here, they're cancer awareness wristbands, and my mom went through chemotherapy for colon cancer, and so when I'm training on the field and stuff gets hard, you know, I'm tired. I want to quit. So it's like quitting. It's not really quitting. You just mentally check out. You want to mentally check out. I used to look at these wristbands like I can't mentally check out because some people don't have the option to mentally check out. So for me, it's like it's not an option to mentally check out. And I was watching a motivation video one time because the first 2 weeks was kind of rough. I had to start listening to motivation videos. So one thing I heard was like, they said it's a Navy SEAL mentality, and hopefully I get it right. It was, it's not about if I can get through it, it's about how I'm going to get through it. So I look at these wristbands, people don't got no option if they want to fight or not. You gon' fight. You gon' fight no matter what. So that's how I took it. Weight room, speed training, field, you know, you just gotta fight. You're gonna fight no matter what. So that was the motivation behind these wristbands.
Jada?
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the things you said was your first 2 weeks was hard. I think for me, that transition to college, when it came to the weight room, I think as females, and I can't speak for all females, but there's not a big emphasis in high school on lifting weights. My Uncle G actually, in my junior and senior year, he was like, the physicality and the speed of the game is going to be 10 times, you're going to be 10 times faster, 10 times stronger. And I realized it when we were here working out, we were lifting weights, we got into really, you know, focusing on getting stronger, getting faster, but you really don't realize how much, you know, faster the game is, how much harder it is until you get there. And I mean, people give advice of, you know, what to do to be prepared for it, but, you know, once you get there, it's just a different type of mental you have to really just know how to lock in and know how to, you know, when the days get hard, like you said, you have to find a way how to get through it, not if you're going to get through it. And yeah, I mean, the first couple of months were hard for me trying to, you know, get physically in shape. And, you know, and during that process, when the other girls on your team, they're bigger than you, they're stronger than you, you're trying to catch up to them as a freshman. It's hard mentally as well. So, I mean, it's a mental and physical battle, emotional battle as well. But, I mean, if you stay locked in and you keep those goals, you know, in front of you, it's hard to, you know, get off track. So
That's right.
Talk about your injury. Why you pressed?
Yeah, so I played my freshman year. I tore my labrum like in the middle of preseason in my freshman year, and I decided to play on it. So obviously you can play on it, but there's a lot of, you know, pain and rehab we were going through during the season. So I just got surgery 2 months ago, and now we're doing PT and rehab. And I was just talking about it like about an hour ago, but like the mental part of it, not being able to, you know, be on the court all the time and, you know, work out with both hands, or even running. I'm not, you know, not allowed to run or anything yet, so it's hard trying to find ways to stay in shape and stay locked in when you can't, you know, do what you love. So it's been tough, but I mean, you're getting a phone call?
It's okay.
Okay, it's good. Yeah, but I mean, it's been tough trying to stay mentally locked in, but I mean, my support system, Layla, my best friend, my mom, my dad, my trainers, they're all keeping me busy with finding things, you know, to do while I know there's not much to do, so.
You played hurt.
Yeah. how did
That's
you-
badass. That's part of the grind.
Yeah.
You don't come off that field. You don't come off that court.
You know why?
You don't come off your training. You continue to push because you, like you said, you had a chip on your shoulder. You had something to prove, and you did more than prove it, girl. Okay,
Thank you.
that's gonna be another episode. We're gonna talk about Jada. She
All
might not
gas,
be
no
with
brakes.
us, but all these kids here have pushed through some stuff. Okay, and we're proud of you guys. So you mentioned you wanted them to talk about
Right, because they haven't stepped on that, you know, campus yet, but Chance has graduation tomorrow. Layla, you graduated yet?
they graduated on the first. Jaden,
Oh.
yeah.
June 30th.
But they check in the same day, June 9th. So what is that like coming out of? I know your mindset.
How are you
has changed.
preparing for that? Yeah.
Right. So how are you preparing? What is it like? You pretty much already got senioritis, so you are already ready to go.
Are you taking a break?
Right.
Are you
She's done.
saying, are you kicking your feet up and saying, I'm going to take this break in between high school and college, or is it all gas, no brakes?
I would love to take a break. I think that, I think Chance knows, and I think I know for sure that you're not going to be able to take a break with your sport at all. Like, doesn't matter what sport you play. Like, you just have to commit to it regardless. Because, like, in the end, if you get out of shape, like, honestly, I can get out of shape after one day of not working out. Imagine going 2 weeks without working out. I would be exhausted.
Yeah.
Y'all don't get no break. Y'all check in the 9th. Y'all start the 13th.
Exactly.
And no breaks now. Like, you're still working out today.
Yeah.
I think constantly pushing yourself to make yourself better so that when you get there, knowing that you're actually putting in work, I think that'll change your mindset of, I don't think it's going to be as hard because I'm mentally ready to kind of get into, to start it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Chance, talk about what you did last week. 4 days actually. With 3 days with Gil, and then you went to the sand dunes on Sunday.
Manhattan.
Yeah,
Layla.
so talk about it. How tough that was. 'Cause you gotta get in shape. So you're doing all that. Why? Because you're preparing to get in shape.
To get in transition into college. So I mean, I feel like if you don't have conditioning, then nothing's gonna work. No matter how hard you work on anything, if you're not in shape, then it's not gonna translate to the game. So I mean, me for real, I think it's just no secret. Like you just gotta work. Like whatever it is, you just gotta keep doing it until you get better at it. So
Yeah, I think for them now it's just become routine, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
I think if you guys are not working out, you feel off. Like it's like I gotta get to the gym, or I gotta get Jaden was a little upset with me because we were doing this session today and it kind of cut into his workout. But he's gonna work out after this. But yeah.
So now we're gonna shift to how you can give some advice to the moms of kids. To have what you have.
They got the giggles.
To the moms.
To
y'all. Like, what
to,
I say to y'all.
to our viewers, moms that might come to
Yeah.
our podcast, what advice would you give to a mom?
To the
about-
kids.
Yeah.
To their kids.
Like to earn a
advice would the
scholarship.
mom
Like
give to the
what
kid?
what would you tell
their
moms that their kids should be doing
Right.
to earn a scholarship? A D1 scholarship, to be elite, to be at the level that you guys are at.
Everything they can.
Which includes what?
What I did for my sport, I basically every day was shooting 500 to 600 jump shots a day.
That's what I'm talking about.
I was doing that.
Noodle legs.
I was doing that every day, and I mean that was basically my routine to get better. Because
Perfecting
if you
your
really
craft.
think about it, kids really don't like to work. They really don't. If you think about it, they really don't like to work. So if you keep doing that, then
You're ahead of the pack.
yeah.
If it was easy, everybody would do it.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. Back to what I was saying earlier, it's like 10-9, 315, 400. It's just check
Yeah,
marks.
benchmarks. Yeah.
You just have to have your check marks. And another thing I did was if a receiver catches the ball on me at practice, I'm not the best ever. Like, I always think about it as if the best ever came down here, he wouldn't have caught that ball. So what can I do to get to that? So then outside of practice, that's how I train. So I got to get out my breaks better. I got to run faster. I got to jump higher. That's how I go in my training. So whatever your weaknesses are, you got to attack your weaknesses.
Now, Chance, you train a lot with your dad, but you also have trainers. You have a group of people that you train with, right?
Yeah.
So investing in the extra training has been key,
Yeah.
right? Because your dad, he's an expert and he taught you and brought you this far, but he knew enough to get more training for you. So Jaden, you have also, right? So you
I
guys,
think they all have.
you guys all have had extra trainers. So talk a little bit about the extra, because you have the stuff that you do at school, you have the stuff that you do at college. What do you do extra? Besides, like he said, no days off, right? You said you're constantly doing 500 shots at a time or like a night. But where are you going? Where are you guys going? Like who is, what is it that you do?
For the other trainers, I mean, for me, like my dad, he knows how to shoot. That's his thing. So I go for him for shooting. He doesn't know lifting and all the conditioning.
There you go.
All that other stuff. So I got other people for that. Like,
And you committed
Gil.
to drive to LA for that.
Yeah, like Gil, my strength and conditioning coach, he lives in LA. So for this next month before I leave, I'm gonna be going to him about 3-4 times a day, doing that.
3-4 times a week.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, I'm doing that, and then because we did the sand dunes last week, we did that, and my legs was burning, but yeah,
And
that was
Jake,
different.
where are you going?
I mean, so the first thing a lot of people don't have is knowledge. Like some kids, they really don't know how to get better. So first, you find somebody that knows how to get better. So somebody that's been there. So that's what I did. Rare Breed, Coach Rob, Coach Daryl, Coach T. They all played in the NFL. They played at the highest level. They was on the team before. So once they pass down that knowledge, they teach me how to get faster. They teach me how to get stronger. They teach me how to get faster footwork. Track coach, Coach B, he teach me how to get faster. So all these people, they build up knowledge in your head, and then it's just an on switch.
Yeah, and then you could just take that with you.
Right. You can take everything you learn from them coaches, and then you don't need them no more. I mean, it's always a good relationship to have. You know, you can always go back because it's always good to have somebody pushing you. But at the end of the day, when they're not there, you could do it by yourself, and that's what kids aren't doing. That's the extra, really. When after you go to those coaches, you take that back with you to the field by yourself and play.
And Jada and Layla, you guys have had the same trainers, right?
Yeah, I think, well, adding on to Jaden, I think it takes, he was naming off a lot of people that he works with, and I think same way that it takes a village to raise kids up, it takes the same thing to train. I think that people get caught up in like, oh, I train with this one person, I can't train with the other person. I think that you learn different things from different people. So training and learning knowledge from as many people as you can, in my opinion, is important. And kind of, I mean, I won't even get into the trainer people thing, but you know, people have feelings and I understand it, but I think that as an athlete, you want to, you know, learn everything you can and get, soak up all the knowledge you can, and you can only do that by talking and working with different people. So I think it's important to, you know, find weight trainers and find people who are good at certain things so you can learn those things and, you know, just elevate your game even more.
How about you, Lay? What are you doing now? That you're finished with high school, you're no longer.
We were asking, the question was about how. Wait,
Going back.
No,
what's the question again? Because I thought it was completely different.
So we kind of
What training are you doing?
Yeah, what do you do?
Oh, I'm currently training with 2 different people, and one of them is Shannon and Brent. When I'm working out with Shannon, I'm more so like working out on like basically to think quicker, like off the dribble, like knowing what to do so I don't overthink it as much. And then with Brent, I'm working on my shot and just handling the ball better because I've never really like played as a guard. I don't know why, but usually like my coaches play me like in a post position just because I'm like I can jump high or like I'm just like the tallest person that there is. But I know it's not gonna work in college because I'm like there's giraffes out there. So I have to work on different skill sets. So I'm focusing on dribbling, shooting, just figuring out how to get to the basket easier because I know I'm strong enough to get there, just learning how to finish and stuff like that.
Love it.
I wanted to add something to one of y'all questions about what we would tell moms to their kids.
That's something for that too.
Yeah, I think as an athlete, and you've heard us say it, that we're already so dedicated to it and so hard on ourselves. And I think as an athlete, you're your biggest critique. So I think as a parent and as a mom, yes, push us and make sure, you know, we're doing what we need to be doing, make sure we're getting into workouts, all of that. But also have that balance of just being, you know, a mom. I think, I don't know for the boys, but as a female, I'm very emotional. I feel like having just a parent as my mom and as my dad, like also as those people who push me, just having that balance is really important so that I don't come home after a bad game and we're harping on it for the next 3 days because they're pissed off I played bad and things like that. They're, you know, they could be, that's not you, but you know how that game. But anyway, but just having that, I mean, you know, we could talk about it in the car ride home or even if that's not what you want to do, but talk about it and let it go, move on from it and go back to, you know, having that mother-daughter or father-daughter relationship. So.
Good stuff, Jada.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank
That is good.
For me though, when you have a tough dad that he wants what you want, like he wants it almost just as bad as you do. As a young kid, he set the standard, and sometimes like a lot of people don't understand like, oh, he's too hard on me, like I don't know. He just wants the best for you. Like that's for any dad, most parents. They just want the best for you. So
It's the best time right there.
right, no doubt. So when like my dad, when I have a good game, I had 3 touchdowns. You know, I'm feeling myself. He like, yeah, but what were you doing on that one play? Right here. So
Again, mama comes and goes.
right, and then you have mom on the flip side. She used to be support. So my dad, I have a bad game. My dad critiquing me, and my mom's like, "You good?" Like she'd pick you back up. So you know, as parents, kind of evening out, and you know, just supporting your kid, and at the end of the day, always wanting what's best for them. Because without my parents, I wouldn't have been where I'm at right now.
I think that making sure to tell your kids that you're different from everybody else. You have a different like mindset. You have a different skill pattern than everybody. So like just making sure your kid knows that they're not like every other player.
Right.
Like because personally me, I love Jada to death, and I think that it's great to have an older sister who like can show you the ropes and everything like that. Just like be there constantly on you. But when people started to tell me that you're Jada's sister in the sport, I think it's like my mom was kind of just there to always tell me you're your own person and that you develop in your own way. You're not Jada. You're your own player, and you do your own thing. You do some things better than Jada. Jada does some things better than you. And I think that parents just need to make kids acknowledge that, so they're not in their feelings about, oh, I'm not like her, so I'm not even the best. You're your own person for a reason. You have your own plan for a reason. You have your own path for a reason. So you're gonna get to where you need to be individually.
Absolutely.
To add to that, I got something.
What else y'all got?
I got a little bit more. I'm kind of like, all right, my mindset is pretty extreme. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot of people were like you're tripping sometimes. But like, with that being said, you know, my pops, he's like, what you gonna do to make her your sister? Like, it's like, you know what I mean? And like, what you gonna do to flip it? Like, and I remember I can't remember what it was.
You're Jada's sister.
Yeah, but he was just like, prove me wrong, bro. And like at the time I was young, I was like, what? Like, I remember my first year of football. I'm like, well, you're tripping. And I still remember him walking off the field like, you gonna prove me wrong or what? And like to this day, I'm always like, bet. Like I'm gonna prove me right. I'm gonna prove everybody else wrong. So to add to that, just as parents, like you just gotta help your kids see what works for him. You know, everybody has different mindsets. Everybody work different. But if you could tap into your kids' mentality, whatever flips the switch, whatever keeps them going, it'll help them.
I think your dad knew that because I watched him piss you off and embarrass you on the field from the stands. And he plays best when he's pissed off. He turns it on when he's pissed off. So you know that to me that all of that, you guys know, to me that adds the it factor. It adds to the it. You guys have that it factor. When you said your mom told you you're different, you're your own person, you're different. Chance is different. You're different. Your coach sent your dad a text. He's got it. Jada, I watched you from my phone, and I'm like, I write to her. I'm like, oh my God, I got chills watching Jada. Like, you guys have it. And so I guess we could close with maybe one thing that I would like you guys to touch on is maybe, what would you say to a kid that wants what you guys have? What would you guys say? Where do they start?
From the bottom.
Probably identifying what sport they want to play, right?
Go get it.
Go get
Yeah.
it.
Also, too, I want to shout out,
great.
and this is special, that we're all Inland Empire. That's what makes this special, too. They're all from the same city. So, not only that, they also all grew up together. So
Babies were all born together.
Yeah. And you guys know, the percentage of kids that get a D1 scholarship, and it's tough.
Yes.
And they've done the work. So
Well,
we're proud
you don't
of all
know.
for you.
The parents don't know. So you told me the other day it's even lower for basketball.
Yeah.
It's 1 to 3%.
Yeah.
No, it's point
.some%.
Yeah, it's 0.7
For what?
for D1, D1 for men. Yeah, D1
For football, I think it was
Now,
like 6%,
because of
right?
transfer.
Yeah, the transfer put on me.
Oh yeah, we want to talk about transfer. That's what
That's a whole nother show.
But thank you so much for coming
Yes,
out
guys.
and joining us and sharing with our viewers so much good information, and it was real.
Yes.
And we just wish
Authentic.
all of you, yeah.
We're
very
excited
authentic.
that you two are getting ready to start, and you two are going into your
Second semester.
second. Yep.
Well, she's going into her second
Second
year.
year.
He's
Yeah.
going into his second semester because he went
Yeah,
mid-year.
cool.
So.
So we're excited. We got a lot of games to go to, guys.
Yay.
Yay!
Well, thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Mambo.
Mambo.
Mom,
It could.
Club.